Schools not only need tremendous funds, so much more than we currently have, but we need to fund equitably. So schools that need more get more. And so right now is a time to ask those that are running what they're going to do for schools, what they're going to do for teachers, and what they're going to do for neighborhoods.
The way school systems look right now in the city of Detroit with what's charter, with now so many students going to online schools,
Mhm.
the framework of me being DPS, knowing that DPS will face a lot of the brunt no matter what, because it is a public service and good.
Mhm.
Speak to that school board and some of those challenges that do exist. A lot of what a person's faced with making the legislative decisions for school boards.
What do we do? So, what I'll say, setting that framework up that you did so well, Detroit, we have just as many traditional public schools as we have Detroit students, they're split now
Yeah.
between both. And so the conceptual argument over whether we should have charter schools or not, that ship has sailed,
Yeah.
right? That said, we have a traditional district, DPSCD, that is underfunded and struggling to increase enrollment. And we have a disparate districts of charter schools. All of them have to function extremely well. What I will say to you, because this is a much longer conversation that I would welcome to have with you, is the state ultimately is responsible for public education. The state actually funds us, and they are responsible to make sure that every child can read, that every child is graduating with a quality education. That is why there was the lawsuit that happened, the Detroit Seven. It was 7 students from Detroit Public Schools that sued the state and said, we have a right to read. We have a right to literacy, and you are not delivering on that. And so this actually went very far and it's settled. That settlement brought $94 million that the state had to allocate to Detroit and to Detroit public schools around literacy supports. And there were dollars that went to the Detroit Seven as well. It was a remarkable effort. And if anything, it showed us that this collective action is possible and needed. The next step, though, is to understand that Detroit's fate rests on Lansing's favor.
Mm.
And there are a lot of people who understand this, and they are working in coordination to move things